Well said, Barrister Mbasia. But then, even still on the electoral circus going on in La République, amidst the ongoing colonial electoral circus in La République, one particular moment has actually stood out away from Philemon Yang. Another one stands out. While in an interview with Mimi Mefo Info, presidential candidate Dr. Jacques Bouhga addressed the question of Southern Cameroons. He claimed that in his vision of one Cameroon, he would ensure Southern Cameroonians feel at home, since according to him, that is the sole reason Amazonians are seeking their sovereignty. Well, let's take a quick listen to snippets of what this interview was exactly like.
About English-speaking Cameroonians, because you were saying that you wanted them to feel that they are Cameroonians. Do you have the impression that they feel they feel like they are not Cameroonians at all?
Yes, of course. Of course. I think that's why we have this problem in the Northern region, and that's why some of them want to secede. That's exactly the situation. They feel marginalized. They feel despised. They feel like the rest of the country doesn't treat them as Cameroonians. This is a fact. We can't deny it. Okay, we could have done better. For example, the way that a crisis in the Northern region was handled was shameful and appalling. When someone is complaining, when someone has a legitimate grievance, when a Cameroonian community has a legitimate grievance, the minimum is to basically call them, sit down, and find out solutions together. For example, my understanding was that back in 2016, the jurists were complaining about the way they were treated, the treatment of the English language in courts, in the judicial system in the Northern region. I mean, this was a legitimate grievance. I think the minimum would have been to sit down with them, look for solutions, including maybe bringing in interpreters and maybe changing the training of our jurists so that we make sure that those we send to the Anglophone regions can connect with the people. How can you judge a case if you don't understand the language of those who are speaking, if you don't understand their mindset, if you don't understand their approaches to judicial issues, like the common law, bottom up? This is, to me, was the product of two things in my view: ignorance, total ignorance, and disdain for your own people.
Someone asked that where were you when soldiers were killing civilians in the northwest and in the southwest regions of Cameroon?
No, well, I had what we call the duty of confidentiality, because when you are an international civil servant, no matter what you think, you can't speak.
The duty of confidentiality means you couldn't talk then at the time.
No, you can't talk outside. No, you can't talk outside. You keep it to yourself. It's like the police officers, the soldiers, and the gendarmes. They can't talk. You keep it to yourself. You can't talk even on social media. It will be a professional mistake, and you can be fired for that. Had they respected you, had they built roads for you, schools, you wouldn't have been in this situation. Okay? And their response was what? Brutality. In fact, the money they're spending right now, killing people, they could have used it to develop the region.
Barrister Mbasia, well, his exact words were telling. I want them to feel like they are Cameroonians. Now, that statement alone exposes the truth that Southern Cameroons and French Cameroon are not treated the same. The decades-long marginalization of Amazonians is so blatant that even candidates of the colonial system don't even think of denying it. It is remarkable that this presidential aspirant, Dr. Bouhga, openly acknowledged another reality, that the colonial government has poured enormous resources into militarization and bloodshed instead of addressing the root causes of Amazonian grievances. Now, this is an indirect confirmation that rather than governance or dialogue, Yaoundé's priority has been the violent suppression of a people's legitimate quest for self-determination.